Welcome to Seen It Here, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nikki Tay.
And today, we are reviewing the Netflix original series, Black as Fuck.
Created by Kenya Barris, starring Kenya Barris and Rashida Jones. This show is essentially a black family sitcom that looks to reverse it on its head, you know. So typical black family sitcom, like the Cosby Show, right? What you would imagine most black families would be like, you know, loving towards one another.
Oh, okay.
But just in a well-off environment, but still teaching and instilling lessons that are well known within the black community, right? This show does that to a sense. I would say that it's more satirical in a lot of ways, which I kind of appreciate but kind of don't. For me, it was at least confusing initially because I thought this was a show that Kenya Barris created, and then it was like his family, like his real family. But as soon as I saw Rashida Jones, I said, okay, they definitely not married. It is fictionalized take on his family with some realness about his life, being that he was the creator of the show Blackish and other things such as The Girls Trip, right?
I thought it was two. Are you sure he directed the first one?
I think he wrote the first one.
Okay.
But the show is weird. It's kind of where I want to go. Like, there are points that are made that I think truly do represent black culture and how black people feel. And then there are other times where I feel like the black people are the butt of the joke. And it gets me questioning, you know, who is really writing this? Who is this for? Is this for me to enjoy as a black man? Should I be getting enjoyment out of this? Or is this for, excuse my language, the white man, for him to either learn or laugh at, you know, what we go through? And I never got that by the end. I never got the resolvement for that question.
Okay, I got a few things.
All right.
Okay, I got like a checklist of things I kind of want to check off.
Okay, did I make any mistake there?
No, you found
I just want that.
You found that. You found it. The first thing I want to say is, I'm not a fan of the Blackish television show. I don't think that it's a bad show. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's just not how you want to see your black family.
I'm not going to even say that. I'm not going to even say that.
I just want to clarify.
No. It's not that. I just don't. It's just not humorous. I don't find it funny.
Fair.
And I'm saying that it's not
your brand of comedy.
It's not my brand of comedy.
All right.
And I feel like Black AF is a show that is almost a Blackish too, right?
Yeah, but like tweaked into more satire. And satire is such a weird way to go. I agree. It's in that vein.
Yeah.
But it's on like another.
Yeah, it's higher.
Yeah,
like
it's on another level.
Because they're richer too, though. It's the next level of richness.
You think the money is what made it?
Well, the money was the reason, the crux of the whole show.
I'm not saying it's not.
That's where
I'm tied to the plot.
That's where
I'm just saying for the. I'll let you keep going.
Yeah,
I agree.
My second point is, and this is going to be touchy, but this is fact for me. It's kind of like Mary Poppins.
I'm excited to know where you're going.
Okay, so it's kind of like Mary Poppins, right? A spoonful of sugar, right, will make the medicine go down. That's fact, right?
That is fact.
That's fact, right? And at points in this show and other shows of this ilk, I find myself saying there is a fine line between educating black people on their culture, on what has happened before, what is still happening, and how can we improve things, and being preachy about it. If I want to be preached about these kind of topics, then I will be watching documentaries, I will be watching docuseries, I will be watching speeches. Like, those are the times where people, or a literal preacher, those are the times where most people, I would say, would like to be preached to, right?
And
The Hidden Colors is a great documentary that preaches the whole thing.
Ooh, good point.
But I was gonna say, like, with this particular show, they have to entertain. That has to be the number one thing.
Fair.
The number one thing, if you are making a television show, a movie, whatever it is, has to be to entertain. You have to do that. And then you sprinkle in the medicine. But the sugar gotta be good. And in this show, sometimes you just gave me the medicine.
Yeah.
and it didn't taste good. I was like, okay, mind you, I'm the one of the most pros black people you ever meet. But it's just the principles. Like you have to entertain before you can educate. That's just what it is. Some of the best teachers are the ones that can connect with their students on a level outside of just teaching them, right? And that's where this particular TV show, in my opinion, failed. Do I think that this show is bad? No. But did this show entertain me in particular? Not really. There are moments, there are episodes for sure, without a doubt. I'm not gonna say it's not. I want to say like the 6th episode was probably the best of the series. But this show didn't do a good job of towing that line. It's a tough line to toe, and they didn't do a good job of towing it.
I like the metaphor because there are moments in this show that are sweet. And those sweet moments are what propelled me to watch this first season. But there's a lot of sour here. And the sour does not make up for the sweetness that I got, unfortunately. To your point, the 6th episode, which I believe you're referring to, the Juneteenth episode, is a really good example of when you get preachy, because they preached about Juneteenth. Yeah. And I loved it.
Yeah, that episode was phenomenal.
I think Juneteenth should get a lot of exposure.
That episode was phenomenal.
Which that part alone, which happens right at the beginning, made the episode one of my favorite episodes without the rest, which also added into the benefit, which were some discussions around black culture, especially black movies, which we talk a lot about on the show, and how we should critique them. I thought they hit right at home based on what we do. Great episode. It made sense. I could relate to it. But there is a lot in this show. Being African American and being not rich, middle class, I don't relate to. And it's not because I am broke. Trust me. It is because a lot of these things are just unrelatable. They don't sound like anything I recognize, to be truthful. Just little things. And I'll give you an example because I know you want to know, right? His daughter, who is proposed that she is doing a documentary.
She right in my alley with her way of thinking. But go ahead in this movie.
Her way of thinking in the show. Yeah. Her way of thinking is great. But I don't like how she talked to her parents. And I don't know a lot of black people
right there
that talk to their parents that way. And for Kenya Barris to preach that he's such a black man, he's such in touch with his roots, to allow his daughter to talk to him that way, completely dissociates where this show wants to go. And that is probably one of my biggest critiques on everything. And to your point,
but what if he being true to his daughters? Since it's loosely based.
I don't agree. I don't agree. And that's the way he raised his family. That's on him. As dad, I don't have kids, so I can't speak on it. But I can tell you that I don't see that in my everyday life.
That's right.
And to the point that you made prior, if it's a money thing, I can maybe see it, but I can tell you this. LeBron James always got his family in the media, and I don't see that. And they got money. So that Kenya, look, I'm talking to you, man to man, black man to black man. What is for us in this? What is for the people, the regular black people who should watch the show? What do we take home from this? Because I'm missing the point. And if somebody wants to explain it to me in the comments, I would love to have a discussion. Because at the end of the day, I feel like this show isn't for me. I think it's for white people who have black co-workers.
I'm not going to say that.
Are black people in their circle. And they want to be exposed to some of the conversations that black people may have. That's how I feel about the show.
I think the show was meant to be for black people. I just think it missed the mark for some. Because we have heard people say they like the show. And we just fall in that boat, kind of like with some Tyler Perry movies, or most Tyler Perry movies, where it's just not for us, right?
Potentially.
And maybe this show's in that same vein, like the 6th episode or the Juneteenth episode. Specifically, maybe people love it. Because it is trending. It could be for white people, but also black people. So I'm not gonna say that it's not for black people. I'm just gonna say it missed the mark for me.
It just don't feel that way. I'm not saying it's not. Okay. It just don't feel that way to me.
Okay.
The show is called Black AF.
That's fair.
So black people are gonna gravitate towards it. But after watching it, the message is lost on me. That's all it is. For me, this is at a 5.8. I think this show has some positives. Like I pointed out, the Juneteenth episode was really good. The highlight of the season.
9 out of 10 episodes.
Highlight of the season. But there are just a lot of things I just don't relate to. And going into this show, and the way it started, Kenya was saying all the right things. And I was like, at the end of the day, this is going to be a show I feel like I can relate to and recommend to people who may not understand me. And by the end of the show, I didn't have that benefit. 5.8.
I would say for me, I just got more medicine than sugar, right? And this show has moments. It has moments. I don't want to discredit that. It definitely has moments. But if I have more of those moments and less of not having that moment, the show would be a lot better. If I got more of the Juneteenth episode, if there were 8 of those,
and
versus 2 or 3, maybe one of those.
I got a great idea. Like if they framed every episode with a part of black culture that nobody knew or had exposure to, and used that as a learning opportunity, this show would have been a lot better.
Maybe.
Which is what they did in the Juneteenth episode. They used it to talk about Juneteenth. It wasn't the focus of the whole show, but you learned something.
And I like the parody of being able to look at our culture and try to say, why are we like this? They question a lot of things, and it made you think, right?
And how it fits into high-end or well-off society would have made perfect sense.
Oh, you giving out free rights?
Yeah, I'm giving out free games. I'm giving out free games.
Yeah,
I'm giving out free games.
You pay for that.
Kenya, you owe me for that. If I see it, this is on wax. You owe me for that.
I would give this show a 6. I think that it is a fair show. It's fine if you like it. If you don't like it, it's fine. I think it's just a show that I'm probably never going to come to again, but I at least can have a conversation about watching the first season.
That completes the review for Black AF, currently streaming on Netflix. Again, we'd love to have a discussion about this. If you enjoyed it,
Absolutely.
please let me know why. If you seriously enjoyed this, or looking forward to the second season, I want to know why. Is it the characters? Is it the writing? Is it what you learned? Is it the way it made you feel? And just in general, just please let me know what is it about this show that attracted to you, and teach me something, because it might be something I missed. You might connect some dots and come up with this whole theory, and I was like, oh wow, this show is really good because look how deep it goes.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it. I could have been asleep at the wheel. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell, stay up to date with all of our reviewing content. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here.